again. I'll welcome everyone to Behind the Bench. Today we're talking about scanning and game awareness, and we've got one of the game's leading experts in this topic. He's been all over the world presenting and speaking about it. And Kevin McGreksin, I met Kevin, I'll just say briefly, when he was the technical director at Burlington Soccer Club in Ontario, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess that was. And so, I know him personally. We've worked together before. Kevin right now is working as an assistant coach with Club America. So you must be in Mexico right now, right? No? Oh, hold on. I think Kevin is muted here. Hold on.
Actually, I'm actually back in Burlington right now, spending a bit of extra time with the family. So
there you go. Yeah, so it's the off season.
Needed a bit of family time.
Right on. But going back to Mexico, and he's also created a program called Soccer eyeQ, which is a program to help players with this crucial skill of scanning. We all know how important this is as coaches, and I know myself as a scientist as well, and looking forward to sharing some of the insight that Kevin has. So welcome, Kevin, and maybe if you want to kick it off, give us a bit of your background in the game as a player, coach, and how did you get into kind of specializing a little more in scanning and game awareness?
Well, as a player, I had to give up the game, quite early, unfortunately, because of a really bad first touch, as it happened. I got into coaching quite early, which was great because I was a better coach than a player. I got to a reasonable level as a player, but I was a much better coach than a player. And just a coach like any of the other coaches there that I've went through my pathway. I've accrued some knowledge either through formal coach education. I did my UFA license with actually 3 different national associations: the Welsh, the Irish, and the English FAs. So that helped me from that side. But I've been really lucky to work with a lot of great people in the game. Coaches, players. I've worked in both the women's game, the men's game. I've worked at youth level, been at the professional end of the game, worked with grassroots players. So a real broad spectrum of experience there that I feel has stood me in good stead. And I've also been fortunate to have been the technical director of 2 national associations as well. So there's a lot of things that go in the mix, but when it comes to coaching, one of my big passions is, awareness and scanning, which is part of awareness. So that's really where I've found my niche to a certain degree, and I've been, I've worked with the Irish FA for over 10 years, presenting on their UEFA Pro A, B license courses, and helping share my ideas and having discussions with other coaches that are coming through that process. So that's kind of my background, and so I've enjoyed it. I've been lucky. The game's been good to me.
Great, yeah. Well, it's a wealth of experience for sure, and hopefully we can provide some insight to everybody watching, back at home wherever they are. And I can comment, just briefly that I really think, whether we're talking game awareness, scanning, these any type of training or coaching that can be done to help players make decisions, I think is probably, it seems to me like it's almost going to be the future of coaching, and we've figured out a lot about tactics. We've figured out a lot about fitness and those different parts of the game, technical skills, but decision making is still something that players can do better. And of course we know that the players at the higher level make better decisions than the players at the lower levels, and that's one of the things that helps a player progress, right? So it's very important, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think ultimately the quality and the number of the quality of your decision making is ultimately going to determine what level you're going to play at. And the more good decisions you can make consistently throughout a game, the better chance you've got of playing at a higher level. And we really do see that. Obviously, as you've touched on, nothing's in isolation. So you still need a strong technical component. You still need a strong physical component. We're not going to say that you know, if you're brilliant at scanning, then you'll make the top level, because if you can't control and pass a football, you're not going to make it. If you're not fit enough, you're not going to be able to compete at the highest level. So, you know, we need to understand, even though we're going to talk specifically about scanning today, it's part of a more holistic process in developing players and try and help the players to achieve their goals and realize their potential.
Right. Yeah. So excellent point. I know, you know, we spoke a bit offline, and so you know, you've got a presentation that kind of introduces the topic a bit more, and I think why don't we kick it off with that now? Let's have a look. I know you can share your screen, right?
Right. I'll share my screen. Is that up? Is that up there?
Yeah, we can see it. So yeah, so we'll talk a bit about scanning, and then perhaps, you know, moving forward to how it can be implemented. So I'll leave it with you. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So thanks, Richard. Then what I'll do is I'll run through this. I'll probably try and run through this at a fair pace, but at any point, if you yourself or any of the people that are watching would like to ask a question or go over something again or go back to the slide, please just let us know, and we'll do that.
Absolutely.
And I'll try and get through this so we can have a decent Q&A at the end. But here, just to start, so people know, that's big handsome guy in the top left of the screen there with the fancy haircut. That's me.
Very nice.
Showing off my book. The picture next to that was when I was a coach at Dundee United with Jackie McNamara. We were at Partick Thistle first, and then we moved to Dundee United. That's actually wee Goldie. Then Ryan Gold, who's now Whitecaps. He was at the club at the time in the first team squad. Great wee player, and good to see him doing so well. And you can see the colour gloves we've got the players on. We introduced that even at the first team level, at professional level, in the men's game in Scotland there, which was great. Jackie was very open to anything that he felt would help improve the players. And then, in fact, I mentioned in my book, even Thomas Gronemark, the throwing coach, who does a lot of great work with a variety of clubs and associations, and you know, he's getting a lot of press for the work he's done at Liverpool recently. And Jackie got a throwing coach way back at Partick Thistle at about 2012. So what I'm trying to say is kudos to Jackie for being so open-minded to be willing to embrace new ideas. And because at the senior professional level, even nowadays, you still get people that have got a very closed mentality, or they're unwilling to be brave enough to try new things, understandably so, because it's easy to get pilloried in the press and the media for doing something different. Bottom left picture, that's been working with the Croatian FA, Croatian Football Federation. I think that's delivering under A licence. I delivered under A licence and pro licence over there a few years ago, which was facilitated by Romeo Jozak, a great friend of mine who's, you know, a fantastic footballer mind. And the big picture is me presenting on one of the Irish FA courses. I think it was maybe an A licence, not 100% sure. But that's me presenting on the UEFA courses on this topic of, you know, developing game awareness and scanning, etc.
Right on.
So just crack on with the presentation. Oops. So there's a first technical glitch. I've hit the space bar and nothing has moved.
Do you want to try click your, like, just on the screen again? Like, just click once and then try.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Right. So. Yeah. I'll intersperse this. I have quite a few quotes throughout the presentation, because there are far better footballing minds than mine out there that have said some incredible things that apply to the game when they were about and apply to the game now. So Cruyff, as most people are probably aware of who Johan Cruyff is, you play football with your head and your legs are there to help you. If you don't use your head, using your feet won't be sufficient. So again, the brain's hugely important. You still need technical ability, you know, it all plays its part. So, but we've really, as Richard mentioned, I think, you know, looking forward to how we develop players is how do we get them making better decisions, you know, and that's, I think, really where we are as coaches.
Thank you for watching this short preview video from the National Soccer Coaches Association of Canada. To see the full video, plus have access to hundreds of other coaching videos, blogs, webinars, and podcasts, plus free and discounted coach education courses and other soccer merchandise, plus to have exclusive access to register for all future NSCAC conventions, both live and online, Click on the link below to become a member of the NSCAC today. Also, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as your continued support allows us to continue to provide coach education and coach development resources to soccer coaches across Canada and worldwide. Thank you again for your continued support, and we look forward to seeing you at future NSCAC events.